goes. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen. Hang on.
Is it doing that thing again?
Hang on.
Presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people.
All right, we have proof of life.
But this
ladies and
sacred
gentlemen.
task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have.
Is he quoting
I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection
It's a
point.
good question.
One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division.
Sounds
We have
like
to
a
decide,
campaign
do we still
speech.
believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter?
No.
I believe I know the answer to
Clearly
these
not.
questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this. We are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office,
I thought we were all racist.
I promised to
bigots.
always level with you, to tell you the truth. The truth. The sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much. A cause of American democracy itself. Must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
When Jay talks. Unmute it. Unmute it.
Huh?
The screen, I can't hear.
You told me to mute it.
Working families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence. Our planet from climate crisis is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it because we can do it. And I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong and secure and the leader of the free world.
Yeah, this guy cannot even talk on a teleprompter.
People, that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history.
Oh, so definitely make sure to make Russia more mad.
Into office.
Yeah, he
Conventional
wants
wisdom of
to
the
failures that he's had for 3.5 years for another 6 months. And my biggest fear is that he's actually going to pay attention and focus on being president, which is our worst nightmare. It was much better when he was at least distracted.
In the basement.
Yeah, this is a campaign speech. Who's we?
Yeah.
Who's we, son?
Around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
Someone was like, Joe, you gotta sit up and give him a little more energy.
We got through it.
It says
We
it right.
emerged stronger,
It says it
more
right
prosperous, and more
You'll
secure.
get that.
In the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities.
What is he talking
Manufacturing has come back to America.
You
We're
know,
leading the
big
world
thing-
again in chips and science.
You know,
What's
he
that
says
thing?
we've come so far. Well, it's
Yeah.
easy to go. It's easy to go far when you're sliding downhill. When you're trying to build something, it's really difficult to advance. But sliding downhill, that's simple.
That's very easy.
Ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who were exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, violent
That's not
crime
good. That's not
rate
something
is
to
at a
be proud of.
50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office.
The first major.
What?
I kept my commitment to appoint the
He didn't say what border.
looks like America.
Also, gun infringements.
Be a
are
president
nothing
for
to be
all
proud of. It's not.
I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake.
Oh my God.
And that's still the case. America's an idea.
It's an idea.
An idea stronger than any army,
It's an idea.
bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the
Randy
world.
Savage.
That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal. Endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
Yeah, you know
Life,
this. Yeah,
liberty,
you know this thing.
The thing.
happiness.
Oh, the thing. You know the thing.
We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American.
Your whole party walked away from it.
In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known.
No, they won't.
I'd like to thank our great.
You guys did. Oh my God.
She's tough. She's capable.
Well, at least give him credit. At least
She's
give
been
him
an
credit that
incredible
he's,
partner to me.
you know, getting the spray tan. Spray tan.
He looks alive. It was proof of life. That's all anybody wanted was proof of life.
Look, Democrats are mad because the American people are not even choosing their own representative.
It's oh,
Have given America a monarchy, a republic. Franklin's response was a republic, if you can keep
yeah.
it.
Remember that. It's not a democracy.
A republic,
dippity.
if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America.
All you have to do is
Rich.
be super corrupt and willing to sell your neighbors down the river.
Well, but he's living proof that anyone in America can become president. So that's the American dream living right there. He's living proof that anyone, regardless of intelligence or truthfulness, can be president.
That's right. Hey, kids, this is a message for you.
Grateful I am.
You could be a
All of
total
you.
loser, still be great.
The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule. The people do.
But
History
if that
is
were
in your
true,
hands.
if that were true, then how are the super delegates and the delegates picking your freaking candidate? Oh, keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep
It's America.
What faith,
And there's simply nothing,
bro?
nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together. Preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Bro.
No.
Bro.
I specifically remember half the country
bro.
being like Neanderthals or something like that.
Yeah, remember Neanderthal thinking?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, I think there's some interesting things that he talked about. First of all, he didn't mention Kamala. Not one holla for Kamala.
No, he said didn't he? He said she's been great, and didn't he?
I must have missed it.
I thought he did.
Did
Was
you
I
not
did I
hear-
miss something?
Holla for Kamala.
Holla
That's
for
gross.
Kamala. That is terrible, Jay. That is
Thank you.
terrible.
Thank you. Just came to me. I mean, you can copyright that, or whatever you need to do with that.
Right.
All right,
But he
all right.
also talked about how important it was to unite his party, not so much to unite the country, about uniting his party.
Yeah.
So he is a uniter. I think what he did is he had everybody in his party against him, so that the oligarchs could come in and get rid of him. When Kamala got her $250 million commitment from all the oligarchs that decided they're going to run the country. Not kings, not dictators, not presidents, but oligarchs. A small group of Wall Street people came in with $250 million and said, "Say ya, Joe."
Deuces.
It is wild. And I think if this man believes he's going to get anything accomplished in this lame duck rest of the session, I mean, we'll be lucky if he makes it to next week. What you think you're going to cure cancer by the end of the year?
Well, that's why it's good that he's focusing on that, because curing cancer in 6 months is going to be a real challenge for him. Of course, he's married to a doctor. So maybe that's where he's getting his medical advice, because early childhood education is really the doctorate that you're going to have to cure cancer.
I have it on good authority from Whoopi Goldberg that she is a darn fine doctor, as a matter of fact.
Like Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine.
Like Dr. Feelgood, maybe? I'm not sure.
How does she even know? Does Whoopi even have kids?
Is she
She
even
does.
real? Is she
She does
even
have a
real
child.
human?
And
She
Joe
does?
Biden's wife
Who's
had anything to
who's
do
the
with those
dad of
children?
her child? You know what? Never mind. We're moving on. Okay. So, what else? What were some other interesting takeaways you had, Mr. Jay the Shepherd? So, you guys, hey, sorry. By the way, we just jumped straight in to the talk, you guys, because they started on WhiteHouse.gov right away. We've got Jay the Shepherd here with us this evening. So it's myself, A Darker Perspective, Lord Reddick, and Jay the Shepherd. We're talking about Biden's address to the nation on his bowing out of the presidential race and knighting or bestowing without the authority to do so the nomination to Kamala. I don't know which way is hateful. Kamala, which is anybody?
I thought it was Kamala.
That's the not hateful way.
I think
It's
so.
Kamala.
Kamala. Okay. All right, Jay the Shepherd. What else did you find fascinating about today?
Well, I think he talked about how he's going to saving the democracy. Basically, the campaign lines that the Democrats have done for so long, and their way of doing it is, no, I don't even want to go down that road.
I got to wreck it.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing that he acknowledged the fact that we're a republic. And I think he was looking for some quote. And again, I think he, when he came out and started talking about Lincoln and Roosevelt and all those folks that died in office, was that a coincidence that he was quoting those who have died in office? Because quite honestly, his plan for this country is pretty well dead on arrival. That not him personally, but his plans.
Okay, so here's my thing. So I've got my tinfoil hat on. Okay, everybody.
I got that. Nice.
Hat. Yeah. So Benjamin also, I don't know what's going on with his camera. What are you doing?
Fixing some things over
You're
here.
being weird. He's got also got his tinfoil hat on. They say that people that they can make masks that are like real. That stuff in like Mission Impossible, that it's apparently real. I don't know. I watched a video supposedly like from the DOJ or whatever of like, so I think it's not really Joe Biden. I think it's somebody in a Joe Biden mask. What do you guys think?
I know it's possible.
Taking the temperature of the room. Comment below. Is it possible that Joe Biden is a lizard person and he's really good?
There's a lot of comedians out there imitating Joe Biden, but I'm not quite sure they could find someone that would be that could be so bad and consistent with the real Joe Biden. But I really love that spray on tan. I mean, that really, to me, made a difference. He looked so healthy, didn't he?
He did. I'll tell you what.
They did the opposite of what they did to Joe Rogan for Joe Biden.
They turned up the lights so that they would be not so cold. They gave him some warm lighting.
Mm-hmm.
They added a little red hue. They put a little red filter on the lens. Yep. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, we figured it out.
I want to go back to the fact that the scariest part of all this is when he talks about because he doesn't have to campaign, that he can focus on destroying the country quicker in 6 months rather than just have a trickle effect that, be more of a flood effect.
Man, if this has been a trickle.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
sorry.
I don't know if it's a trickle or a tinkle, but.
Wait, isn't that a prostate? Is this a prostate joke? Because he's old. I'm sorry.
Gosh.
That's not funny. That's not fair. It's kind of funny. It's a little fair.
I think
but
it's funny.
if he, oh Lord have mercy. Okay, if he's gonna focus more on destroying the country, how much worse, Jay the Shepherd, could it possibly get? Other than like an actual full-on hot war.
Well, did anybody see the stock market today?
No. What happened?
Down over 2%.
Why?
So it took a major hit today for a variety of reasons. We can't always blame it on him, but I want to anyways.
Well, everything is Joe Biden's fault right now. So.
Yes.
No, but was there something in particular?
No, it was just some results from NASDAQ holdings. So the NASDAQ took a big hit. Well, but I also want to go back to how he's going to do. What?
I was just saying, like, probably second quarter earnings are coming out right now. And
they are.
And from my vantage point in the accounting world, the business world, I can tell you, small to mid-sized businesses are getting crushed right now with the credit banking stuff going on, the labor inflation rate. It's just nutty. But go ahead, Jay, keep talking.
One of the things that he said that I don't want to overlook was how he was going to reform the courts, the Supreme Court.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about here is court packing.
Yep.
Where he's going to try to push through. I think he's going to try to do it with an executive order, which is a joke because the Supreme Court will throw that out. Any restructuring of the Supreme Court, this current Supreme Court is going to say that's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So they're doing all these things that they're, red baiting and playing games with some of their sloganate, whatever they call that stuff, with all their slogans. So I think that's very, very serious.
Yeah.
And that's destroying the separation of powers. And what he's looking for is the executive branch of the country with executive orders, number one, getting rid of the Congress's ability. And now he wants to overtake and rule the Supreme Court as well. So not only does he want the executive branch to be in charge, he doesn't want to have any authority. He wants to have complete authority over the other two branches of government, which is really what Ben Franklin was talking about. It's a republic if you can keep it. And one of the strengths of the republic is the fact that they have 3 equal branches of government.
I love when people quote people and don't realize
miss the context 100%.
Yeah, like you're the guy. It's being unconstitutional and non-democratic. You're the threat. You're the boot of the government that we are concerned about, and you don't know that.
It's wild.
The only thing I agree with him is that democracy is on the ballot this November, because if we continue with the authoritarian policies that this administration has, and the oligarchs on Wall Street and Silicon Valley running this country, really is a question of whether democracy is still going to be available in this country, especially if he's trying to pack the court, if he's trying to run everything by executive order and bypass Congress. It is on the ballot, folks.
I just want to remind everybody, this dude's a liar. This dude said, I'm not going to quit. I'm in this to the end. I'm blah, blah, blah,
5
blah, blah.
minutes ago.
He lied. Everybody who said he was fit to run lied. His family members lied.
Kamala,
Joy Reid
out there. We're good.
lied.
We're good.
Scarborough
fine.
dude that had to eat crow
Everything's fine.
live on television. He lied. Van Jones.
Wait, what was it? He was powerfully. Oh, what the heck did he say?
Astute or something. I don't remember what he said.
Tactical or some crap. It was just like, bruh, thou dost protest.
Yeah.
Too much.
It was a powerful lie. These people keep lying. Hunter Biden lied.
And here's the thing.
The laptop.
And here's the thing.
He lied again.
Here's the thing. I am still committed. I am still willing to believe that this is still all a psyop. Okay. This is why I wore my shirt today. For everybody, anybody who can't see it, it says, "This is Boo Sheet," and it's a little ghost with its middle fingers blurred out, and it's an amazing shirt because I got to. Interestingly, have you heard of Whitney Webb, Jay?
No.
She's a journalist, and apparently, like, sometimes again, got the tinfoil hat on, right? So she's like making some connections and Palantir and Trump, and they're doing all this stuff, and like Trump is just as bad as the other guy. And here's the deal, probably, because if there's one thing I know, what we really have is the uniparty that is about themselves and for themselves. And why would I not believe that they would be willing to pull some stupid psyop and be like, oh, Trump, oh, he's terrible, and then be, oh, he's what, and then dude, George Soros literally has intentionally disrupted and caused chaos in countries so that he can bankrupt their central bank, and rob all their wealth. Like, why do you think it can't happen here?
Yeah, well, you scare me when you mention Soros, because that's where Kamala is coming from. That she was the district attorney, a Soros pick in San Francisco. That's how she got her start.
Wait. So you might know this, because I just heard this on a radio show or whatever. They said that her office's response to why they couldn't let the innocent people out was because it would disrupt the prison labor system.
The source of cheap labor for the California fire.
Can you confirm that, Jay? Was that an argument?
I can't confirm it being factual, but it's consistent with what these folks tend to do.
Oh, wait. But if you've heard of Kamala's family history in Jamaica,
Yeah. Hey,
where
Benjamin.
I've heard it's look, I haven't said it. Other people have said. I've heard people say that her family were slave owners.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest slave owners.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Benjamin. You got to stop Asian hate, okay?
No, but what I'm saying is
Why are you
if
hating
that's
on the
if that's
Asian?
accurate,
Because she had slaves.
if that's accurate, then this would be in not only accordance to what Democrats do, but specifically what her family and ancestors did. It's in her DNA. What can I say?
Jay's suddenly regretting being on this show with us today.
We're not making any strong claims. This is hypotheticals. I'm just if it's true.
It is.
If it's true,
Yeah,
if it's
it
true,
is.
it's very consistent. It's one of those things where because you were raised in a certain way, you don't even understand that it's wrong.
Mm.
And so if there's consistency within the generations with her family, then it's like, I double dip when I'm eating potato chips and dip. Doesn't everybody?
You gotta get that labor somehow.
I mean, isn't this how you're supposed to behave? I grew up in Vermont. I mean, there's certain things when I went to the big city, it was like, really, folks? I didn't know you did that.
Mm.
What do you mean you're washing your hands before you eat?
I go rub it in
Why
some
is that
dirt
bad?
first. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, it's not that bad.
It's almost that bad.
And so, it's this generational stuff. Every group of people in the country, every organization in the world, the family unit passes on traditions, and you don't even realize that it's there.
Well, she
Yeah.
wasn't raised with black people. Apparently,
She
she
wasn't.
was raised with an Indian mom. She wasn't raised with.
They didn't have any servants. What do you mean she wasn't raised with any black people?
Oh wow!
I don't know. All I know is she was the first Asian Attorney General of California. Or no,
Yes.
Asian senator? A minute ago she was Asian.
Yes.
You can't just.
And my understanding, again, not to bring, the birther theory back to the forefront, but apparently her parents were not Americans. They were
Okay.
When she was born, apparently they weren't Americans. They were like whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't agree with that line of reasoning. That I still believe that if you were in this country legally and you gave birth to a child, that child is an American.
Well, I have opinions about that, but regardless, you don't even.
She's
have
certainly
to go
not
down that road.
qualified otherwise to be president.
That's
It's
what I'm
has
like.
nothing to
You
do
don't
with
even have.
birth.
That's what I was gonna say. You don't even have to talk about like some of that. The like more not crazy, but more, whatever divisive,
Salacious, audacious.
yeah, salacious conversations. You can just talk about the fact that she never received a single vote. A person who never received a single vote is somehow the Democrat nominee for president. A person who was so disliked by her party that she had to drop out before Iowa.
Oh, come on. She was at 3% in the polls. I mean, of course, you do understand that the poll that had her at 3% had a plus or minus of 4. So she could have been -1. So within that margin of error of 4.
You can't be negative, can you?
That's right.
Well, they said plus or minus 4 was the margin of error in that poll.
So
So does that mean she was either somewhere between -1 and 7? But-
no matter what, not good. Nobody wanted her.
Right.
She
And
lost
so that's
California.
democracy
her
is
own
on the
state.
ballot.
Yeah, bro.
Who chose her? What happened to
The party that is so concerned running around talking about saving democracy is literally openly committing crimes. Maybe it's not fair to say committing crimes. Maybe that's not fair. I don't know. But
they're,
I
they're
don't.
not being
I don't know
democratic.
how Kamala calling up all the delegates and being like, "Hey, can I count on you to wait? Hey, can I count on you to give me your vote?" And they're like, I don't, what would I do otherwise? Because nobody else is going to take this stupid job. Thank you. Okay.
She
That's not
completely
how
took
you,
over the. Yeah, she completely took over in 48 hours. Within 1 minute of his announcement, she had already called Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Within 15 minutes, she had called everyone who was thinking about running for president to
Wow.
replace Biden. And within 48 hours, within 1 hour, she had a complete whip team that was calling every delegation in the country to get their commitment to support her. So within 48 hours, she had this entirely locked up.
get out of here.
They had raised over $100 million in the first 24 hours
Wow.
and are now up to $250 million that they've raised. And I'll tell you what, it's not coming from $100 donations.
Yep. Mom and pop.
So you can buy a president in this country pretty quickly in under 48 hours.
If
Listen.
this is not enough for the American
listen.
people to reject
No,
them,
not the American people. No. Progressives and Democrats. If you allow this to happen for the second time, y'all are garbage.
the second
I don't
time
want to hear
this happened before.
Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but that was they stole the primary from Bernie twice.
They
This is,
cheated.
Entirely
They
worse.
cheated, and the people
Fair. Okay,
let
fair.
it happen.
Yes.
You let them subvert your desires for who you wanted to represent
Correct. Yes.
you. If you let this happen again, not Republicans, not independents, Democrats and progressives who run their mouths all the time about democracy and everything is at risk. If you let your own party steal from its own members, you're garbage. I don't want to hear nothing for the next 4 years, regardless of who wins.
Nothing. Nada.
Yeah.
Zip zilch zero.
The sad part of this is that she has a real chance of winning. They are going to package her in a way, that's going to be very, very appealing to a lot of this country that doesn't pay attention. The whole thing about all of her speaking habits, the way she is completely lost in the conversation. At least with Biden, they could explain it that he was getting older. He had issues remembering facts and details. And you have to feel sorry for someone who reaches that advanced age where they are having challenges in their cognitive functions. She's 59. She makes the same mistakes. She has that same look of ignorance. The only difference is Joe will open his mouth and just stare crazily, and Kamala will go.
We've been to the border. Wait.
So it's just two different
Wait,
ways
wait,
of
wait.
dealing with
We've
cognitive
been to the border.
difficulty.
We've been to the border.
Well, she has been to the border. It must be the same one that Biden was talking about tonight. That the border crossings are way down.
Yeah, Taco Bell.
And I'm guessing that's, the border between Pennsylvania and Delaware. Could that be the one?
Is it Ukraine and Russia? We
No,
spent
I think
billions
it's
on?
I think it's the Delaware Memorial Bridge that goes from New Jersey to Delaware that they've been doing construction. And that is called the Joe Biden Highway now, by the way.
Oh wow.
When you come over the bridge from New Jersey into Delaware, it's
That is
called the
one protected
Joe
border.
Biden Highway. And I think crossings on that border are way down because they've been working on that bridge.
Well, look.
I love you, Jay the Shepherd.
And you do know that he recently was saying how things have gotten better in America because he's experienced less traffic than he remembers under Trump. What he doesn't realize is that they clear the roads for him, and he's the only car on the road when he travels. So he has clearly said, and this is not making this up, that since he's been in president, he's noticed that traffic is a lot better now when he drives.
These are categorically
That was not a real thing that was said.
unserious people.
That is, I don't even believe that was the thing. He didn't say that like for real, like he meant it, did he?
Yes. I guess you can Google that, but it's
Lord
a
have mercy.
a
Also,
fact.
a theory.
Wow.
Who is a better puppet than Kamala Harris?
Mm.
There's so much public dirt on her. I can only imagine what these agencies and these rich people have on her in private, especially considering the rumors of her rise to the top, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to have someone that you install in office, what better than a person who absolutely knows that they owe their success to you?
Mm. Mm. Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
I think you're absolutely right. And you look at, Clyburn, who made the deal originally with Biden, that Biden is going, Bernie was still in the race in 2020.
Yep.
And they went to South Carolina, and Clyburn said, Joe, I will endorse you, but you have to take Kamala as your VP pick. That was the deal that was done. And it happened, and he owes Clyburn, and I don't know any other way of saying it, but they traded Bernie Sanders for Kamala Harris. I have mixed feelings about that because I think Bernie would have been much worse. We would have slid down this slippery slope even faster. Or like Joe said just now, he's come so far.
Wait a minute.
And it's
Yeah,
so
but at
easy
least
when you're
he-
sliding downhill.
Wait, I got a question though. You said she's gotten to this position without winning a single vote. Do you mean in all of her postings?
No, that's this as the VP,
Just
as the
this one.
presidential nominee. Yeah.
Okay,
No, she had to win her AG post and stuff like that.
okay,
I thought,
fair enough.
and Senate and all that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
what are we talking about here?
But she didn't start. Her first position, she was appointed by Willie Brown.
Oh,
That's
you mean
what
Big
that,
Willie? She
Yeah.
got appointed by
Big
Big
Willie
Willie.
Brown. Big Willie
Big Willie
Brown.
style.
He was, I think, the mayor
she-
of San Francisco.
She never. Boy, I'm trying to be good. I really am, and you guys are trying to send me over the edge here.
Hey, there's
know-
been like 5 or 6 rude comments I could have made during this live stream that I did not make.
You do realize politically, I'm in the middle of the two people behind me.
Reagan and Coolidge.
Yes,
Mm.
and they never said anything bad about other people in public. So I'm trying to be the
Well, they're
same.
better than
I
you.
didn't say anything bad.
I'm saying
I-
bad things.
I just said Big Willie.
Big Willie Brown. They had an open affair. They had an open affair. It was very. Wait,
But-
hold on. Wait, hold on.
Big Willie Brown.
Okay, I think my wife is calling me.
No, okay, really. We'll be serious. Okay, we'll be serious and wrap this up. Okay.
So
okay,
here's the thing that we
predictions.
should. One,
go ahead,
one of
Jay.
the things we want to take out of all of this, and we can talk about how she got to be vice president, but I think what we have to look at now is what has she done as vice president? What capabilities, what talents does she bring to the White House? Foreign policy, domestic policy, understanding the economy, all of those kind of things. There is no skill set that she possesses that makes her the commander in chief or the chief administrative officer of this country.
That's a good
You know
point.
what? You know what makes me
That's a
angry
really good
about
point.
what color is Clyburn, right? What color is him?
Black.
Well, I'm not really sure because I thought he was black, but people say Kamala is black. So I'm not really. You'd probably be a better judge of that than
Yeah,
me.
what does it mean?
I
be
have
black?
to look it up. But it's sad that this woman is in a position, and as far as I can tell, it is not for merit.
Yeah.
No one I have seen who's at all reasonable or critical is saying that she was amazing at her job.
Mhm.
And so
Right.
every promotion, every step forward that she's received is some misfortune of someone else or the appointing of some guy who wanted to see her move forward. Not the people, not democracy, not us. We saw what happened in the primaries. That's what people think of her.
Right.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that she has held offices. So she was a failed attorney general.
Mm.
She's a failed prosecutor, a failed attorney general that did not do a job representing those most in need in California.
Mm.
She joined the U.S. Senate, and when she was in the Senate in 2018, she was ranked the most liberal senator in the country, more liberal than Bernie Sanders.
I was just gonna say, make sure you repeat that, Jay. Kamala or Kamala, whichever is not hateful, is more left, more progressive, more communist than Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
That's wild.
I'm watching people say, Joy Reid said this. Joyless Reid.
The most racist person
That
on
this
television.
is a historic moment. She's Asian, she's black, she's a woman, and this is right after Roe v. Wade. And you're going to be on the wrong side of history if you don't vote for her. You want me to pick the commander in chief with nuclear codes, the pulpit,
Yep.
based on whether or not I'm going to experience FOMO for being part of the moment? You know, okay. I had other words. I don't know the word. The level of danger and disrespect for the sacred duty of the president. Like how serious and important that position actually is. Just because Kamala's held many, 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 many other positions doesn't mean that she's fit for this one.
Correct. It's
It's
the Peter
disgusting.
principle that you rise to a point where you cannot handle the position. And the sad part of this is they are going to package her in such a way that the 70% of Americans that don't pay attention will look at a variety of things and will look at the fact that she checks off boxes of being the first,
Yep.
and not really know how it affects their daily life here.
Yep.
And it's very scary. It's awful. It's pure and simple. It's awful. But do not underestimate their ability to get her elected. They got Joe Biden elected. They will find a way of getting her elected.
Jay, I saw a post on Twitter today, or
Look at the microphone, Muffin.
now known as X. It was a guy who was talking about how he is from like a red town in a red state filled with a bunch of red-blooded Americans, and he was at the local pub, and something was on about the news, and a bunch of them all remarked, yeah, you know what, things are fine enough, whatever. There's a lot of people who are not paying attention to what's going on, and they aren't necessarily feeling the same pain as everyone else. Or maybe they are, and they just don't understand that it is attributed directly to the policies of the administrative and legislative branches.
People don't.
Right. Well, Biden said it tonight that inflation is getting better. Of course, when you're the one that set the house on fire, you using a garden hose to put it out really isn't going to help. They're going to cut interest rates twice between now and the election. So the cost of buying a new home will go down. They're going to take credit for lowering the mortgage rate from 7%, 7.5% down to 6%.
And it's going to go right back up after the election.
Right, which is double what it was under Trump. You're going to see that they're releasing the oil reserves in this country.
Yep.
In a time when the world is unstable. They're going to let the flow of oil come out of our reserves, which will lower the gas under $3 a gallon. They'll point to how they brought it down almost a full dollar, 25% from its high. And people forget the fact that it was lower than that in 2019 and 2020.
That's right.
So you're going to see a trend that they're going to build on, that they're going to take credit for. But again, when they set the house on fire, you can't count on them to put it out.
So here's where we're going to end, you guys. Predictions. Who will be the VP pick for Kamala Harris? I know a bunch of the governors and some of the names I've heard floated around are Jewish. I doubt the Shapiros of the world are going to get chosen, given that Kamala or Kamala, whichever one is not hateful, is pro Hamas. So I doubt she's going to pick a Jew. I'm calling that right now.
Well, I believe that the second gentleman is Jewish.
Hmm.
Oh, that's true. Oh, shoot. Oh, whoa. Then the left should hate her. How dare she? Marry a Zionist.
She chose one of the chosen people. Wow.
How dare she?
So if you look at it right now, Mark Kelly, the senator astronaut
Arizona.
from Arizona,
Yep.
and I can see their campaign slogan right now: send 2 space shots into the White House.
I think her VP is going to be gay.
Ooh,
Or lesbian.
Buttigieg? Butt gig? I think that's what Matt Walsh calls him. Beat butt gig.
Butt judge.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Buttigieg. I don't think it's going to be Cory Booker.
Oh, I hadn't even heard that one.
Well, you said
Spartacus?
gay. I mean, it was.
Well, I'm saying I believe that her is going to be of the LGBTQ something, because that's the only way to make this more inclusive. And if that's their thing, it's going to be the most historic event. We're going to
Maybe it'll be Karen Jean Pierre.
I don't know who that is.
Karine Jean Pierre,
I'd
the
be
press
so mad.
secretary.
I'd
Oh.
be so mad.
I think it's going to come down to Roy Cooper.
Right. Wait, who is Roy Cooper?
He's the governor of North Carolina.
Oh, that's right.
I think
That's
Josh
right.
Shapiro is in the running, but wants it too badly. Andy Bashir is their best pick, the only Democrat governor of a red state.
Oh, she could also pick a woman.
Oh, how about homeboy from Vermont?
Phil Scott,
Yeah, I mean,
crossover.
he's basically a Democrat.
He's white. That's not
Yeah.
diverse.
Male,
Why are you-
pale,
woman.
Why are you judging him?
I'm definitely
I
judging
don't
him.
think that's a
I
judgment.
will stop judging Phil Scott.
We don't know how
when
he identifies.
signs
Do
my
you? Have
pardon
you ever heard him say
application.
that he's a white man?
You know what? You're right.
You know what? Why? Yeah. Why are you presuming his race or gender? Maybe
You know
he'd
what?
also, like
He is
Robert
from
Sherman,
Vermont.
identifies as a black lesbian from San Francisco.
That's some of my best
Either
work.
way, I think this is going to come down to how well they package her.
Yeah.
It's also going to come down to turnout, because there's enthusiasm for her right now on the Democrat side. That'll wane as they realize what is going to happen to them.
Yeah.
So I think the key to all of this is how good the ground game is going to be for each of the parties. It's going to be, when you raise as much money as she has in such a short period of time, that makes her a player in all of this, in their ability to door knock and to harvest ballots.
I'm going to have to see her face all over the place on the internet. I've got to hear her talk a lot because she's got enough money to run constant ads.
Oh my God, it's playing in my feed. I'm like, why are you showing me Kamala or Kamala, whichever one is not hateful? I am clearly a Republican. Like,
Wait.
it is very clear. I am not voting for a Democrat.
Wait, she's a progressive. She's not a Democrat.
Whatever.
Maybe I've heard Elizabeth Warren is an option,
Oh.
Yeah, I don't believe they'll go double woman.
Mm.
but they could think of it. But think of it from this perspective: double Indian. Dot and Feather come together to save
Oh, no.
save America.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode of Generally Irritable. And
Yeah, don't tell anybody I was on.
That's not rude.
We're
I was
We
trying to
have been
clarify.
joined by Jay the Shepherd. You can find him on Twitter at Jay the Shepherd.
One. Jay the
Jay the
Shepherd
Shepherd
one.
1. And then also A Darker Perspective. Thank you both for joining me tonight on the live stream, talking about Joe Biden leaving the office. We've got proof of life, ladies and gentlemen, at least in theory, if that was not a robot or pre-recorded before he died. I don't know. Maybe he is dead. But
Yes.
you know who's not dead? You. And you know what that means? You need to go to prettylittlepatriot.com and go shopping. If you're a lady, go shopping for yourself. If you're a fella, go shopping for your girl. We're going to see a quick commercial from them. Use
Hold on.
code
For-
generally irritable when you shop for a generous discount.
Before you do that, make sure to like,
Oh,
share, subscribe to the channel. We're
Watch
getting
it.
some sweet merch. We're working it
sweet
out.
merch.
That's coming. Shout out to everybody who's on the stream. We got about 100 viewers right now.
Hey.
Go Pill, I see you.
Oh,
Good
what's
to
up?
see you, sir.
We're talking about you in Arizona.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Come back Friday. We're going to have another episode on religious liberty on the right. And actually, Jay the Shepherd will be joining me again on Friday. We're also going to have, oh my gosh, is it Thomas Speedy? Hold on, from the Atheist Society. I hope I didn't just butcher his name. Yo, I'm going to be terrible. We're going to be talking about religious liberty on the right, okay? Thomas Sheedy, Sheedy. So, there was a little bit of drama at the RNC when they let somebody who wasn't a Christian pray. Heaven forbid, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have our pearls on. We're going to be ready to clutch them as we talk about what does it mean to be a Republican? What does it mean to be on the right? What does it mean to be a conservative? And do Christians have a monopoly on the Republican Party? That's what we're going to be talking about on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Like, share, and subscribe, and go shopping with Pretty Little Patriot. At least somebody out there knows that just because you're a conservative doesn't mean you want to wear boring, frumpy clothes. Y'all, check out our new sponsor, prettylittlepatriot.com. If you use the affiliate link below, you'll get 15% off. You can also use our discount code Generally Irritable to get 10% off of almost anything on the website. But, sales are already sales, guys. Come on now. My most recent purchase was this amazing gold belt that just goes great with anything. They've got rompers. They've got evening and event wear, you guys. Go check out the dresses there. They are super fun. You've got swimsuits, accessories, and of course, you have to check out their signature XX chromosome earrings. They're so cute, you guys. I love to wear them with a bunch of different earrings because I have multiple piercings in both ears. So check out prettylittlepatriot.com. Get something cute and fun today and use coupon code Generally Irritable to get 10% off.